Hello, welcome to this video, which is To Be Human Trilogy Remastered. I did not expect to be back so soon, seeing that I technically haven't even released Remember to Be Human video at time of recording this, which I will now show you, um, you know, because it's scheduled for the 17th and it's only the 11th. So yeah, I'm remastering it sooner than I would expect because I wanted to do it now because of a video that came out today, and I didn't want to add on to the length of Remember to Be Human video because otherwise it would start to turn into a case where it becomes, a 5.5 hour video. So, yeah, I don't want that to happen to that. So, yeah, I'm more than certain there will be multiple iterations of this video, like seeing that it has happened with this video and this video. But yeah, let's get on to actually starting. Although I do want to mention one thing that's funny. That thumbnail was supposed to be like him being sucked up, but it could be reasonable that it was actually falling through, like fell through the floor, between that thumbnail and that thumbnail. So yeah. So there's almost like a mini story between the thumbnails, and I'm honestly not certain how I'm going to do the thumbnail of this one, but I definitely want to incorporate some of the elements of each of the previous thumbnails. So I guess you'll see it when you see it. I haven't made it at the time of recording. Obviously, this is just the recording of, this video. Either way, yeah. So yeah, let's begin with the remaster of It's Okay to Be Human, which these remasters aren't, going to be exactly the same as the, original. So it's more like a redo than a remaster. I'm just calling it a remaster because, I don't know, I just thought it'd be a good thing for the title. But yeah, it's okay to be human. So the whole point of that video is, to say it's okay to be human. It's okay to, make mistakes, but as long as you learn and grow from your mistakes, you can be a better person. Like, you know, you know, you are the only you, you're unimportant. Yeah, it's okay to be, human, we all make mistakes, but as long as we grow and learn, that's what really matters. So yeah, try and learn from your mistakes. Try and learn from that. So yeah, that's it's okay to be human. Yeah, again, this is going to be a lot shorter. You know, I'm basically condensing the episodes into very short amount. Anyway, let's move on to It's Hard to Be Human. Here's the one that was a doozy for me because I focused so much on the negative, which, is a part of, humanity. We always focus on the negative rather than the positive. So, I was talking about, all the, negativity and pain and trying to, overcome the pain and, try and be better people, try and not focus on the negative and try and be stronger than that, But as you can see by, 5.5 hours, I obviously got trapped in the negative spiral that, I wanted to, present in a, meaningful way, but it became such a, like, gobbledygook of, ideas that it became madness and ended up being 5.5 hours, which is my longest video to date. Oh, that was pain to edit and pain to export. The amount of editing I did was... I don't know if it's the most editing I've done, but it's definitely a significant amount. But yeah, yeah. Then, but yeah, the point of that one is, don't focus on the negative, which I ironically did do. And then last in the trilogy, it's okay. No, I'm saying the first one instead of the last one. Remember to be human. Goddamn my brain. Which, oddly enough, that's the thumbnail with the brain in it, as I showed right before. So yeah, my brain is a mess. But yeah, remember to be human, which was all about trying to remember to be kind, remember to be thoughtful. Sometimes, you need to self-reflect. And sometimes, you gotta remember, somehow, even if it's by attention or not, but for most people, hopefully, it would not be by attention, but sometimes we're part of, the problem rather than being a part of the solution. The world ends up becoming more and more divided, which brings me to one of my new points for this video. So yeah, but yeah, the point of remember to be human was be mindful and thoughtful and kind. But yeah, which brings me to one of my new points, which I'll get up the video that I mentioned. Which is, and also hello, Foot, hopefully I'm saying that right. But brings me to the point of one of Matt Pat's new videos. Wait, goddamn ads. God, that just makes me hungry. It's almost dinner time for me. But this video like shows like how media and stuff is potentially, making the world a lonelier place, like because of the variety of media, it means that anyone can you know end up being lonely because we all have different tastes and choices, and because of the variety of ideas and all that, and all the stuff, like it's broken us down, which I kind of had a similar point in my previous video. So I actually kind of beat Matt Pat that in one of my earlier videos. I forget if it was um, remember to be human or hard to be human. Um, but I, in one of these two, I state that COVID probably contributed to us being more separated, more divided. Like we forgot to interact, and even though the pandemic is mostly gone, still, that probably was, damaging to, humanity overall. So, yeah, um, you know, um, you know, like, at multiple points, during, the 8.5+ hours, at multiple points, I talk about, people are, more divided than ever, you know, you know, things are more divided than ever, and yeah, like, so yeah, I guess, I technically beat Matt Pat to the punch, you know, with my videos, you know. But I definitely make some good points, so I'll link the video in the description. But yeah, people are more lonely than ever before because the connections, you know, are lessened because there's so much choice. Like we have so much, choice in what we choose to, absorb, and that it only makes us even more fragmented. Where in the past, everyone knew about, that the things on, the big shows on like TV, like, or, big movies or whatever. But now, with so many different competing like things like YouTube, TikTok, different streaming services, it all leads to us being more fragmented than ever before. So, yeah, we are, you know, in an age of division, and we're being divided unintentionally by our own doing. Even I'm technically a part of the problem, you know, you know, you know, you know, you know, I'm technically, despite hoping to do good, I'm technically a part of the problem, which is Lovely. Which I also, kind of, realized then, remembered to be human, but I'm glad to continue to come to the same realization again and again that, despite I want to do good with these videos, that I'm technically a part of the problem. Uh, that is like the craziest thing, like, that despite, the intention of these videos is to do good, but unintentionally, I'm still a part of the problem. It's maddening. It really shows how broken the world is, when all you try to do is help. And in the end, you're still technically a part of the problem. It's insanity. It's it's insanity, You know, it's so dumb, but that's how reality is now. What, you know, would have been avoided, you know, if, humanity was more connected, is not, reality. Like, it's probably, contributing to, the, problems of stuff like racism, maybe even, contributing to sexism, a divided world, means, less connection. It's maddening, but I guess that's how it is, But you want some freedom because, taking away freedom isn't fun, but, there has to be, like, some way of compromising between, freedom and, connection, But who knows what will be the ultimate way for connection to, you know, begin. Who knows? But yeah. But yeah. Anyway, yeah. Anyway, that brings me to my last point that I want to talk about. My last point, at least in this iteration. If there's more iterations to come, now, be afterwards. But the last point, which is also my last new point, is, I mentioned him before and remember to be human, self-reflect. But I'm one, that really tries to delve deep into, self-reflection. And one thing I don't think many people would honestly admit is, that each of us has a part of us, whether we like it or not, that is vile, that is angry and aggressive, that is literally, you know, the part of us that, we try to, suppress, but, nonetheless it's still there. A part of us that is, you know, vile or angry or hateful, And I've heard, the thoughts of that part of me when I've, really, you know, dived into it. That, there is a part of me that's, is potentially, you know, racist or, sexist. Not that that's who I am, in reality, but nonetheless, there's always going to be a part of you that's, you know, hateful and, vile, because that's what happens when you're exposed to the negative world. Eventually, a part of you also becomes that same vile hatefulness that you always see around you, that no matter what, you know, you do, it will start to fester inside of you. Not that's who you are as a person, but, is, technically a part of you. It's like Jekyll and Hyde, you know, Hyde is that part, whereas the vileness and, all the bad, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's completely bad, because a part of, negativity is fear. So one thing that probably be shared between the you are and the negative you is that, your fears, they probably be, the same. Like, I don't want to die. Like, that's one of my fears, because I don't get to choose exactly when I die, That's not a choice I get to make exactly. But nonetheless, one day I will die. But, that same fear is most likely within, you know, the negativity of yourself, because, fear is, a negative emotion, you know. So, despite how different the negative might be, it's also quite similar, You just have to dive deep to realize that the negative part of you is still you. It's just the part of you when you're the most broken, when you're the most fearful and, broken down by the world. So I don't hold it against negative people for being angry and vile. They might just be, you know, deep down crying for help, but are so broken that some can't be fixed despite how hard you try, because ultimately it's up to them to fix themselves. And unless they begin the process themselves, they can't be fixed no matter how hard you try to reason with some people. They'll still be angry and violent. Yeah, but it doesn't mean not to try. Like, at least try a little bit and try and connect on a deeper level, because sometimes, stuff is hidden deep below the surface, but it's not always easy to break through to someone, but at least try once, because you never know what may have led to them being negative and vile. Because, yeah, again, we have the same possibility as them, just we've endured longer, you know, you know, sometimes shorter depending on, yeah, again, how long you've lived in life, but nonetheless, you know, we've endured, you know, through the pain and the suffering and, you know, all that. So yeah, never give up. Like that one meme with that Asian guy. Never give up. So yeah, I guess that's the point of this remaster. I guess never give up. You know, you know. I never gave up on trying to do this video series right in the right way. You know, I could have given up. You know, could have stopped doing these, but I never gave up. So yeah, yeah. So yeah, look out for people. They might seem aggressive and, you know, hostile, but try and question why and how they got to that point, you know. But yeah. Anyway, yeah. So yeah, I'm just trying to be honest with myself, you know, that I know there's a part of me that is that part of me. That is a, you know, vile, you know, angry and aggressive and would be, you know, a horrible person, but I would, you know, have to break down to get to that point. So yeah, if I do ever become that person, you know, try and, you know, shout me, you know, to be like, remember who you used to be, like, you know, you know, you know, say it straight to my face, you know, because something would have led me to become that me. So yeah, if I do become that me, shout it to my face like, remember who you used to be. And you know, I don't know how I how you know if I was to ever get to that point, like how you would break through to me if I were to become that way. But there's definitely a few things. Maybe Mike will be strong enough. Jimmy, I don't know. Or maybe dear friends of mine, like mentioning them to me, I don't know. I'm going into hypothetical future stuff now because I always think about the future because I hope for the best for the future, but you never know what the future will hold, you know. And seeing this video most likely will release, you know, early into uh, 2024. Yeah, yeah. Who knows what the, you know, year of 2024 will hold, you know. But I'm hoping it'll be a better year because 2019 sucked for me, 2020 sucked for me, 2021 kind of sucked for me, you know, 2022 was, you know, very mediocre year, you know. There was some highlights, obviously, like there was always highlights of each year because there's always going to be at least some good in each year, but yeah, the last few years have just felt like, you know, not great, you know. 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, they've all been not great years. The last 5 years haven't exactly been the best. So here's to hopefully a good 2024. Either way, I'm gonna end this video before I ramble more. Just remember to be kind, be thoughtful, don't give up, never give up, and yeah. And this may not even be the end because there may be more iterations on this video, who knows? But yeah, anyway, thank you all for watching and peace until next time. Hello, there's another iteration. I knew it. I knew it would happen. And it's literally like only been a day since I recorded the first part. So yeah. But this iteration is to delve more deeply into loneliness because that was, a part of, Matt Pat's video. Yeah, again, link in the description. But I felt like I didn't cover enough, especially since, part of Matt Pat's own words was like, stories of loneliness, are reaching us. And I'm a person who does, stories, with Michael and Jimmy. So, it's inevitable that I will probably, do a story along those lines. And I think I may have an idea, but I won't spoil the idea because, potentially be in the future or technically the past. I don't know the answer to that question yet. Um, but yeah. But either way, I want talk more about loneliness, and I definitely want to do something story wise, for that theme, fulfill Matt Pat's word of doing a story of loneliness, and I think I have a perfect one. So yeah, um, a perfect story for that. To give a second part to something that I did a long time ago. But yeah, I'm not here to talk about the plans for that because again, I want to keep it secret. But talking about loneliness, so like in this day and age, a lot of people feel lonely. Even I sometimes feel lonely despite, having, my friends, but I don't have any friends in real life beyond, connections online. Like, I don't know anyone, you know, as a friend in real life, which is kind of sad, like all my friends are online, So yeah, I want to talk about loneliness because, you can feel lonely even when you have friends. Like, as despite as contradictory as that is, it happens. It happens. And there's not a lot of ways to beat that because, humans, need connections, but, you know, you know, I guess trying to find ways of connecting is, a good place to start, Also, finding ways of being happy by yourself, like when you don't have friends, you know, to keep you company, you know, like, I don't know, honestly, because everyone's different, but for me, when I'm alone, I usually do my stories, like, my characters and that. It gives me a sense of, doing, hopefully something good and interesting and fun, or sad or happy, depending on, whatever that episode is meant to convey, you know. But yeah, my characters in my stories are usually um, my way of, um, you know, making myself feel like, um, you know, that there's a point, and yeah. Um, anyway, yeah, but it's always going to be different for different people, and yeah, but yeah, find a way to, I guess, go beyond the loneliness, and yeah, um, yeah. I know it's hard, but I guess sometimes, that is how it is. But yeah, either way, yeah, um, yeah. I don't know what else to say. It's hard, to deal with loneliness, and but hopefully you will not be alone forever, because hopefully there's, a friend, or, someone, that'll be important to you that you just haven't met yet. And yeah, but yeah, I honestly don't know what else to say, just, it can be hard to be alone, but there's always a way, to get out of loneliness, hopefully. And yeah, either way, yeah, um, yeah. Anyway, I guess I'll conclude the video again, since I don't know what else to say. But yeah, just try and find connections, and you don't have to be alone, and you don't, have to do things alone. Yeah, but yeah. And hopefully I'll do that story I have an idea for soon. And I just searched up the first part of it. It was surprisingly in 2023. I thought it was earlier than 2023. I thought I would have done it back in, 2022 or 2021. But no, it was 2023, surprisingly. At least the release of it was. Doesn't mean that's when it was recorded. Um, but yeah, because again, my insane schedule. But yeah, I'll conclude this video. Just it's hard to face loneliness, and we all can feel lonely sometimes, despite having people around us. It's a common thing. Just try and hold in there, because you never know when you'll meet someone special to you, and whether they be a friend, love interest, or whatever, you know hopefully you'll feel less lonely by being with them. Yeah. Anyway, thank you all for watching the video. Yeah, again, I don't know if this will be the last iteration or not, but yeah. Anyway, until next time, peace and thank you. Hello, another iteration. There's always going to be multiple iterations in these videos, probably. Lord. But yeah, got some new things that I'm gonna be adding to this iteration. So you know, two things I feel like, you know, I'm gonna add and want to talk about. So first one is about fantasy and like escapism and stuff. So yeah, for the longest time I have always had, you know, fantasies in my head, like always, you know, had imagination, you know, how things could be if I was in, you know, a different life, you know. And, you know, that has made me, you know, who I am today, you know, why I always do, you know, story stuff, you know, with my characters, Michael and Jimmy. But one thing to be, you know, wary about with stories is, you know, technically they're not real, but also from another viewpoint, you know, technically they could be real because, you know, if you consider, you know, the multiverse, you know, from another viewpoint, you know, they could be reality. But my point is, you know, technically here, by the rules of our world, fantasy is not reality, so you shouldn't, you know, get lost in fantasy. But you should still be able to create your fantasies, and, you know, it's fine to get a little bit lost in them, but, you know, reality is reality, and, you know, that can be sad, you know, at times. But, you know, it technically can't be avoided. So my point is a bit contradictory. I'm like, yes, do fantasy, but also be careful, but also, you know, multiverse, so it may be real. So yeah, there's two parts of me that are very much at conflict, you know. So yeah, so there's no absolute perfect way to do fantasy, especially for, you know, you know, me, because, you know, I will believe in, you know, the possibility of, you know, things coming true, like fantasies of, you know, the message that I, you know, did in the Remember to Be Human video. I would, you know, hope it would come true, you know. At this point, the video hasn't come out, so I don't know if it will come true or not. I'm just, you know, hoping it's one of my fantasies that I would hope that would come true, that I would see, you know, my old friend Alana again. But, you know, reality can be, you know, cruel. So, yeah. So, on one hand, I'm saying, you know, don't delve too deep. On the other side, you know, the world is incomprehensible, so there's a chance they're real, but not here, unfortunately. And by the rules of reality, we won't be able to reach them probably for some time, if they do exist out there. The other worlds, the other multiverses, you know, out there. So we really don't know. Which is kind of annoying, you know, because, you know, if they are out there, wish, I could skip to the chase and, have, those other realities, but, it is what it is, so yeah. So yeah. Fantasy, is good for, escapism, but, if you get too involved with the story, you might lose your sense of reality, and yeah, it's kind of a double-edged sword, escape reality, but, you lose sense of reality, and, eventually that place you escape to eventually becomes a prison of its own. But also, reality can suck and be a double-edged sword. Like, sure, there's some good things being in reality, but, there's also, a lot of pain and stuff and suffering, and yeah, there's no perfect way to live. Even being technically God would not be great, because sure, on paper it seems like it'd be cool to be God, but you're eternal. You possibly, have to deal with every single concept in the multiverse, beyond multiverse, you have to deal with things beyond human comprehension, you know, you would basically have to be, the person to maintain, the balance between it all, and if you mess up, it'd be catastrophic for potentially, many people, not that you can save everyone, because yeah, again, you have to deal with every concept, ever, both good and bad. But yeah, being God kind of sucks. But also, being mortal kind of sucks. Being immortal sucks. There's always going to be pros and cons, no matter who you are, where you are, what you are. It doesn't matter. There will always be a downside to, everything. But at least there's always an upside. There's always a silver lining, but there's always, bad stuff. What would be the opposite of a silver lining? I don't know, because there's the phrase silver lining, but is there an opposite to a silver lining? Like I assume it had to be some other metal. I doubt it'd be called a gold lining. Maybe like a mercury lining, because mercury is deadly. Um, um, or something else like another deadly element, like a uranium lining. I don't know. I'm just making dumb jokes at this point. Yeah. But yeah. Anyway, let's move on to my other thing I wanted to talk about, which, is me as a person, yeah, again. But more specifically on, I don't want, control others, but, technically I'm a part of the problem. By making this video, I technically want to lead you in, a certain direction of thought. But it's because I want to help, not hurt. But yeah, again, as I've come to the same conclusion, yeah, again, time and time again during these videos, is technically I'm a part of the problem. Which is great. Really fun. The world is insanity. The world doesn't make sense. But yeah, we have to live with it, so it is what it is. But yeah, I also don't like being controlled, as a person. Like, I want, make my own choices. So, yeah. Which, and I definitely have some opinions on, like, um, corporate stuff, like, you know, corporate leadership, because, yeah, again, I feel like some of them, you know, some, there are exceptions and there are probably, good people, you know, that are rich, but for most case, you know, rich people usually only care about one thing, and that's money, you know, yeah, yeah, and there's exceptions to, you know, the rule, but, you know, most of the time they only care about money, they don't care about the individuals. And saying this will probably, prevent me from potentially gaining some, sponsorships in the future, but I don't really care. I've gone, 2.5+ years without sponsorships. I think I'll find an actual, job, and, you know, hopefully, work for someone that, will, appreciate the effort I'll put in, and hopefully it won't be, you know, you know, a corporate person, who only cares about money and doesn't care about the individual. Hopefully I'll be, working under like a manager, someone who had to, earn their way to that spot to be a manager, someone that actually, earned their position, someone who actually, worked for it. Not saying, the rich you know, don't technically earn it, because they technically earn it, but most likely they were born into, you know, you know, a rich, family or something, and sure they learnt the skills to probably, effectively manage money and effectively manage a business, so they technically, have skill, but they haven't usually, yeah, yeah, no substance, no soul, nothing that fulfills them beyond, money, and yeah, and I can't exactly blame them, because they probably, gained that from their parents, so it's just a long going thing, you know, where, the rich get richer and, the poor get poor, and it's a sucky cycle, you know, and a lot of them, a lot of those rich people will never care for, the end line worker, someone who's actually, doing the work for, the company, where all they're really doing is, benefiting off, their work, and they didn't really have to work for it. Sure, they have some skills like money management, would have to manage, a lot of people, but, otherwise, in most cases, they don't care. Yeah, again, there's exceptions, but they don't care. And some won't realize they were wrong until their last days, like when they're super duper old, So some won't, even realize, like, I wasted my life until that point, So yeah, so yeah, kind of sucks for them. I kind of feel sorry for them in a weird way, but I'm also like, you know, you know, screw you guys. You don't care. You really do not care. And you probably won't care for a very, very long time. So, yeah, on one hand, I'm like, sorry, but also like, not sorry. Like, you know, you know, I can understand how you became this way, but also, you have the power to change yourself and you still choose not to because your minds are broken because of how you were raised. So yeah, yeah. Again, sorry for you probably having technically bad parents that only told you to care about money, wealth, you know, but you'll have no actual fulfillment for your soul. Stuff that would fulfill you in life. Life experience. Because you know life experience, it's so much more valuable than a dollar bill. In the end of the day, sure, it's nice to have money, to buy things, so you can live and buy things, to entertain yourself, like for me, that's video games, and but yeah, you know, money only goes so far. Like I've had more fun, with experiences, through the different games I've played. You know, it wasn't technically the game itself technically, like, sure, technically comes down to the game in some cases, but it's also the people that you experience it with. I mean, look at, like, Lethal Company. That's like, playing that with friends is like so fun. you know I still need to buy it because, yeah, again, I'm poor. I'm job hunting. I'm it's 15 bucks Australian, and yet I can't afford it because all I have is like 5. You know, it sucks not having job experience. Life advice from me: get job experience um, while you're young because you will need it. That's life experience from me. Get job experience. It will make things so much easier for finding a job. Like, you have no idea until it's too late. But yeah, yeah, but yeah, um, yeah. I'm poor, so I don't own Lethal Company. I've only been able to see the fun of it. I haven't really experienced it myself, except for the demo, because I did play the demo, but that was solo. So yeah, because I did it for a micro adventure. So if you see a micro adventure in the future, or technically maybe in the past, I don't know when I schedule it, honestly. But yeah, if you see that video, note that was in the demo. So yeah, I hope to eventually do one again when I actually own Lethal Company. Um, you know, you know, for another adventure. But yeah, uh, yeah. For now, you know, that one adventure is the only adventure. But yeah. As I was saying, you know, life experiences, the best way, to enjoy life, enjoy it with friends, So yeah, technically it was because of, the games, mainly for me, you know, games where I've had the most fun with friends is, like VR chats and, you know, some others like Gmod, um, what else? Deep Rock, Galactic, you know, uh, Among Us also, that was fun with friends. Uh, you know, uh, there's been plenty of games, but yeah, life experiences in those games, it's so much more than just, money, you know, sure, money helps, but yeah, um, yeah, the experience, will always be more valuable to me, and yeah, it means, you know, I don't really care about, the money as much. Sure, I do care a bit because, especially right now, while I don't have a job, I'm kind of desperate at the moment. Who knows if I would have solved that situation by the time this video is out? But yeah, 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 it's not fun not having a job. You know, it means technically right now, despite, saying I don't really care about the money, you know, right now it's like, yes, I do care. I needed to live, technically. I mean, I'm still, living with my parents, but eventually I need a, job. Uh, it's painful. Yeah, again, get job experience. It's very, very useful. But yeah, I'm babbling on now. So I'll conclude the video. So yeah, and yeah, I might miss out on sponsorships because yeah, again, I'm not a fan, of corporations sometimes, but also I can understand, how they may have got to that point, uh, you know, I am very contradictory as the case, as I mentioned, between, fantasy and, reality. I like fantasy and hope, multiverse, is true, but, you can't always, delve deep into it, you know. Oh man, my mind is madness. I guess, that's also the world. It's like that one Jack on Hyde song from the Jack on Hyde musical. The world has gone insane. You know, it's such a fitting song. To the world these days. Can't speak because it's kind of madness. Like not full madness, but it's like a silent madness is my best description of the law today. It's like a silent chaos, you know, you don't see it, but it's like there, like under the surface, you know, ripping everyone apart and, making the world, seemingly more divided than ever without seemingly division happening in reality. Like, it's so weird. Like, it's the weirdest sense ever, you know. But yeah, that's my best description of it. Silent madness, you know, you know, silent chaos, you know, you know. That'd be like a good name for like a movie or um like a video game or something. Maybe I should call one of my episodes with Mike or Jimmy Silent Madness, like, or Silent Chaos, you know, because it's so fitting. This is just giving me ideas for my story, to, represent, the world in some way, you know, twist reality a little bit to, you know, hopefully make a poignant message. I don't know. But yeah. But yeah, I'm rambling, so I'll conclude this recording. And if there are more iterations, um, well, then there's more iterations because it seems the end is never the end, just like the Stanley Parable. But yeah, anyway, I'll conclude the recording. So yeah, thank you for watching the video and peace.